let's do a little review here. Martin Luther exposed the deceptions of the Roman Catholic Church by his 95 Theses, the Bible versus the Church. This started the apostate movement called the Protestants. This created the army of the Pope. The Society of Jesus, known as the Jesuits, was formed to counter the apostates in 1540. Now we're going to get into the creation of the army of the Pope in 1540, the Jesuits. This is the first church of the Jesuits. It was given to the Jesuits by the Pope, Pope Paul III, and here's the outside of the building, and we will now take a tour inside. This is the painting inside the Jesuit church, depicts Pope Paul III bringing the Society of Jesus into official existence in 1540. This society became the Pope's army. This here is the Loyola, the first black general, called the Black Pope of the Pope's army, and he's considered the white Pope, the infallible one we should worship, and he is the man behind the scenes that owns all the corporations of the world, all the banks, owns everything, and forces everybody to worship the infallible white Pope, which we will see. This new Black Pope, named Loyola, created the Illuminati, a satanic organization to control the minds of the European leaders through hypnosis, witchcraft, and mind control. This Black Pope, Loyola, communed with the spirit world for advice in setting up this powerful and evil organization. The spirits were actually demons controlled by Satan, illuminating his mind. Satan is called the angel of light. Loyola developed his spiritual exorcist to bring one into spiritual perfection. Through systematic meditation, prayer, contemplation, visualization, illumination, Loyola will go into trance, and he would teach others exactly how to do it step by step, how to get into witchcraft, New Age trance, meditation, prayer, and that's what we see around us right now. Himself. This is a photograph of inside the Church of Jesu, and we'll take a close look at the sun worship. Here you see the sun god, the Egyptian sun god, the IHS, in the Church of Jesu. So you can see the sun worship is everywhere. This is the current Black Pope, or the current general of the Jesuits. His name is Peter Hans Kovenbach, and he was initiated back in 1983. You can find this article in Jesuit.org, official website of the Jesuits. And in this article, when this Kovenbach was elected the 29th Superior General of the Society of Jesus, the 33rd General Congregation of the Order, Father Kovenbach was elected at a very sensitive time in the Society history. The white Pope at the time, Pope John Paul II, wanted to put his own Black Pope in, but the Society would not let the Pope put his man in, so one of the first tasks was to mend fences with the Vatican and restore Vatican's confidence in the Society was this Pope's first duty. So you can see that this Pope here is not controlled by the infallible white Pope. As time went on, the Society of Jesus, the general, got so powerful with his army that he started to kill off the white popes that he did not like. Here's a prime example of the Pope lasting just 33 days in office, Pope John Paul I. He was killed in 1978. After only 33 days in occupying St. Peter's chair, this brave papal Caesar was poisoned by the Masonic agents of the Jesuits within Caesar's palace, the Vatican, found dead one morning by a nun, and there was never an autopsy, was never performed, and no official death certificate ever been issued. And that's what happens when you go against the Black Pope. He'll take you out and put a pope in of his own choosing. The Vatican controls the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds. says right here, in July 1978, right after the Bilderberg meeting, the head of his family empire, John D. Rockefeller III, was murdered. Made it look like an accident. Likewise, in July of 1996, Rothschilds was found hanged in Paris. Both Rockefellers and the Rothschilds were killed on about the same day in July to send a message that assassins like anniversaries. So you see here the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds are nothing but the puppets of the Vatican whore. This is what researcher Eustace Mullins writes, that the Rothschilds took over all the financial operations of the worldwide Catholic Church in 1823. And there's his book and reference number, page 125. And as you look up Rothschilds in the Encyclopedia Judaica, in there it says that the Rothschilds bear the title Guardians of the Vatican's Treasury. Now you know where the Rockefellers and Rothschilds got their wealth. The Bible versus Catholic. True doctrine out of the Bible text versus false doctrine and the date that was introduced by the Catholic Church. Here's one example. Call no man father, Matthew 23:9. The Pope is called Holy Father. The year was instituted 610. Another example, don't worship men, Acts 10:26. Kissing of the Pope's feet started in the year 709. Another one, leaders of the church must be married, 1 Timothy 2:5. Celibacy was imposed in the year 1079. No pray repeating, Matthew 6:7. The Rosary introduced in the year 1090. The last one I'll give you, only the Creator is infallible, Matthew 19:17. The Papal Infallibility, year 1870. So you can see the blasphemous between the Church and the Bible. This is the current Black Pope, considered the most powerful man in the world. And here's a diagram of how the pyramid is set up. First you have Satan on top of the pyramid, the god of this world, 2 Corinthians 4:4. And then the next one in line is the Black Pope, the superior Jesuit general. And then it goes to the White Pope, the Papal Caesar. Remember Caesar, he sits on the throne of Caesar and also on the throne of the church. So he has two roles, but he doesn't control nothing because the Black Pope controls it all. He replaces the White Pope of his own choosing, according to what Lucifer wants. Then it goes to the Archbishops of New York, and through them goes to the Knights of Malta, Knights of Columbus, the Masonic Supreme, and then it's all broken down to the different secret societies on down from there. Here's another diagram of how the pyramid works. Comes through the Vatican, the Jesuit, the Black General, and then it goes down to the Illuminati, the CFR, the International Bankers, the Mafia, the Club of Rome, the Opus Dei, the Masons, the New Age movement. Remember, they're behind all of this New Age witchcraft movement. They create the problem and then they say, oh, we don't create it. We hide behind the sheep. We hold the sheep in front of us, so that's all you see. You don't see the wolf behind the sheep clothing. And so they're the creators of all this, and there's many more secret societies. But this is kind of a diagram you can see how it all operates. Here's an interview with the Jesuit in the Spectrum newspaper, and the interview went on to say, and it says, what is the ultimate goal of the Jesuits? Their ultimate goal is to rule the world with the Pope of their making from Solomon's rebuilt temple in Jerusalem. That is their ultimate goal. And what is he going to do? He's going to destroy the Catholic Church. He's going to destroy the Vatican. And he's going to go down in Jerusalem and demand to be worshipped as God for 3.5 years. This is their plan, folks, is to deceive you. They'll destroy the Vatican. Nobody will make connections between the Vatican and the new Antichrist. And then he'll have all people worship him after World War III. Why is April 15th so significant? It is the day that the Titanic was sunk. And what is so significant about the Titanic? Well, there was people that were against the Federal Reserve System, and so they were very wealthy, well-to-do people, and so the Vatican built the Titanic for one reason only, and that was to get the rich people on board who are against the Federal Reserve System and to sink it. And that was the whole reason behind the Titanic. Here's the Jesuit Father Brown who gave the orders to the captain of the Titanic to sink it. Here's the captain of the Titanic right here. He was a Jesuit, and he's the one that took the orders from Jesuit Father Brown to sink the ship. And he's one of the last pictures that were taken. Here's another photograph from Father Brown's very own camera documenting what's going on. And here is the captain of the Titanic looking over, saying goodbye. You know, he has his orders now to sink the Titanic. Here's other photographs from Father Brown's camera documenting the people that are on the ship, so they make sure that those who are against the Federal Reserve System are killed. The captain of the Titanic sailed that same route for over 20 years. He knew the waters as good as the back of his hand. He went pedal to the metal as fast as he could, and when he hit the iceberg, he made sure that the lights stayed on and the music kept playing. As the ships were passing at night, they saw white flares shooting in the skies. Now everybody knows in the Navy that if you shoot white flares, that it means that you're having a celebration, a party. Red flares means that you're in trouble and you're sending out an SOS for help. So the ships that were passing by at night, and you can see this on the movie The Titanic, that they shot white flares in the sky and not red ones. This is proof alone that this was done by design so they can sink and kill those who are on board. So approximately a year later, after the Titanic was sunk, the Federal Reserve System came into power.